As per the usual working files format, we've now got a project called Demo 18. I'm in the schematic subfolder and I've got drawing Demo 02 open at the moment, which is a schematic component point-to-point wiring diagram. Now it may be that you want to add a terminal or a connector into this particular drawing so that it then links back to terminals on the panel drawings. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add a simple terminal in this drawing, and then we're going to start working through this section and working with the panel drawings and linking the two together. I'm going to go to the schematic tab on the ribbon, the insert components panel and the icon menu, as we've done many times before. So there's the icon menu and I want terminals connectors. Now there's lots of different types of terminals and connectors. You can have different shapes, you can have different styles. So you've got square, round, diamond or triangle. Those are the main shapes. And I'm going to select a square with a wire number, this one here. Now I'm going to place it in this wire here on the multiple wire bus. And as soon as I do that, it prompts me now for the information about this particular terminal symbol. Now I've selected junction box 1 TSA, so that's the tag strip. All I'm going to do now, I'm not going to worry about the properties or associations here. I'm just going to click on OK. And you can see there that's gone into the drawing, junction box 1, tag strip A. It's taken on board the number of the wire, 102B. There's 102B there, coming round, joining onto the multiple wire bus here. So all of that information is now added to the AutoCAD Electrical project database, ready for us now to go to the next video and the panel drawings where we can start adding information about this terminal to the panel drawing itself. So we're staying in the project Demo 18, but this time we're in the panel subfolder and we're in drawing Demo 09. And as you can see, there's a panel there in the drawing with all our terminal strips over here on the right hand side. I'm just going to double click there to zoom extents for the moment. I'm going to go to the panel tab on the ribbon now, and what I'm going to do is go to the terminal footprints panel here and select insert terminal from the schematic list. So when I click on that there, it gives me a list of all of the schematic terminals available in the active project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload and I'm going to select project there and I'm going to click on OK and it will bring up that list. Now before it does though, it prompts me which drawing do I want to process. Now we placed our terminal in drawing Demo 02 in the previous video, which is this drawing here. There's Demo 02 there. So I'm going to process that drawing and then click on OK. There's my TSA junction box 1 wire number 102B. The ones with the X's next to them are already being used. They're already in the drawing. So if I select this one, it gives me the option now to insert that into my panel drawing, thus linking the terminal from my schematic drawing into my panel drawing. So I click on insert, and what will happen now is it'll take a few seconds to load up, and it's asking me to specify the location there for TSA, tag strip A. You can see that there on the command line. If I switch on my dynamic input, you can see there that I get the dynamic input prompt to specify insertion point. So if I zoom in now, what I'm going to do is just place this. I could place it here on this terminal strip. I'm just going to place it below that terminal strip just so we don't affect anything else in the project. So I click there and I've now got the option of rotating it if I want to. I'm just going to keep it vertical like that and click. And then what we've got to do is do the terminal insert edit. So the installation, I can browse for that. The location is junction box 1, tag strip TSA as before. Notice the wire number is grayed out. That's fixed because it's picked up that wire number from drawing Demo 02. I'm not going to worry about anything else here. All I'm going to do is click on OK. And you can see there that it's now got a cross next to it because it's been inserted into the panel drawing. So I can close this dialog box. There's not a lot of information on these terminal strips. As you can see, if I zoom in, look, there's just one number on those ones there. And over here, again, see the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's no real associations with these at the moment. You could get all the associations to display if you wanted to. A lot of the time though, what you do is you utilize the edit component. So I click there, right click, and I can go to edit footprint like so, and I can edit the information there if I need to. Now you'll notice I can add or modify properties and associations there. So if I click on that, you can see there that I can actually go in and edit all of the information, the associations for that particular junction box 1 tag strip TSA. Now I'm not going to worry about editing all of that information, but I can change it if I want to. So you'll notice there, look, single 102B 002 102. Those were the references that we had when we inserted it into the demo 02 schematic drawing previously. So I'll just OK that. I don't need to worry about making any changes. But you make those changes in the background and they go into the AutoCAD Electrical project database. There's nothing to stop you inserting a terminal block manually on a panel drawing. It's very, very easy to do. So you'll notice we've stayed in the Demo 18 project. We're still in drawing Demo 09. We're going to go to the Panel tab on the ribbon, and in the Terminal Footprints panel, click on the flyout here, and you'll see there is a flyout. We've already done Terminal Schematic List. We want Insert Terminal Manual. So we can use a generic shape or convert an existing non-intelligent block insert in the drawing. So if I click there now, I can use a generic marker only. I can draw shapes, or I can pick a just like footprint. Now the nice thing is, if I click on this one here, pick just like footprints, I can select an existing footprint like this one here that we brought in from the schematic list. And there we go, nice and easy. I'll pick an insertion point here, like so. As soon as I do that, it prompts me now to edit the terminal that I've put into my panel drawing. So I'll change this to TS dash and then a B, tag strip B. We can put a number in there, say 180 for example. Now these are just numbers that I'm picking off the top of my head because this is a manual terminal block insertion. So if I click on OK like that now, that information will just go straight into the AutoCAD electrical drawing. So if I zoom in now, can you see it's got the 180 number there? Because it's a manual terminal block. It's got no associations. If I click on it, right click and edit the footprint, there's the information I put in. I can add and modify the properties and associations if I want to. There they are there. So I can link those if I want to wherever I want to link them to. So at the moment there are no numbers. There's no pin left or pin right. There's no references because it's a manual terminal block insert. So I'll just cancel that for the moment and cancel that again there. But you can see how you can manually insert a terminal block if you need to, and then go back and reassociate that with schematic components in your AutoCAD electrical project. Now you'll remember in the first video of this particular section, we placed a terminal in one of our point-to-point wiring diagrams in drawing Demo 02. Now when we placed that particular terminal, we linked it to Junction Box 1 TSA, Tag Strip A. Now at the moment we're in the Demo 18 project, we're in the Panel subfolder, and we're in drawing Demo 09, which is a panel drawing. Now what we can do is we can check our associations of our tag strips here, our terminal strips, with our schematic component drawings. And we can do this by using the Surfer tool. Now what I'm going to do is just highlight one of the tag strips here, and then it's a right click, and then what I'm going to do is go to the Surfer tool here on the right click menu. As soon as I do that, it brings up the Surf dialog box. It tells me the tag strip A terminal references, the manufacturer and the catalogue number. Now if I come down the references here, down the list, you'll see that there's this 102B and then a sheet 002 and then a reference 102, and the location is Junction Box 1. So there's our Junction Box 1, and we want this particular reference here. That's because that is wire 102B, sheet 002 is our Demo 02 drawing, and the reference is the 102 wiring loom on that drawing. So if I click on Go To now, it takes me to drawing Demo 02, and zooms me in straight away to that terminal that I placed in my schematic component drawing Demo 02. All I've got to do now is close the Surf tool. I'm now in drawing Demo 02. I can check and edit any associations I need to on my schematic component drawing and then go back to my panel drawing if I need to. That's how cool that Surf tool is in AutoCAD Electrical. The best bit about it is that you can do this in any drawing at any time, and because your AutoCAD Electrical project database links all the data behind the drawings, you can surf between drawings, checking your associations of your terminals within the drawing structure itself. We're staying in the Demo 18 project. We're in the panel subfolder, and we've still got drawing demo09.dwg open in this case. Now we're sticking with our junction box 1 TSA, tag strip A. Now we're in the panel drawing, so if I just zoom out slightly you can see where we are, and we're looking at this particular terminal strip here. Now this bit behind it here is actually, when you edit the footprints, a DIN rail. So you've got there, it's a manufacturer AB, and the catalogue number is 199DR DIN rail 1. So this is purely a DIN rail that the terminal tag strips are mounted on. If I now click on one of these like so, and then right click, you'll notice this right click becomes a lot more functional when you're doing things like this. I can go to edit terminal strip, and then we can edit our terminal properties as such. So this is our terminal strip editor. It's telling me that defined terminal wiring constraints are exceeded. What's happened there is extra terminals have been added automatically to fulfill the connection requirements. I'm just going to OK that, and then I'm going to explain why that's happened. If I come down to the bottom, do you recognise this number here, 102B? What's happened there is where we've added that extra terminal in drawing Demo 02, linking it to this particular tag strip, it's had to insert 102B, red 14A wire types. So you can see there that it's linking to motor 104, and with those wirings it's taking it across the tag strip on that particular terminal module that's in the panel drawing. So you can see here that all of this information here has come across, linking the associations between the motor and also the tag strip. So I can edit this information if I want to. There's nothing to stop me editing information. You can see here I've got properties, terminals, I can renumber them. I can make terminals spare or insert a spare terminal if I want to. And there's my destinations. I can toggle the locations, the installations, the terminal destinations, and switch the terminal destinations. I can also move the destinations as well. I can put jumpers in if I want to jump from one section to another on the terminal strip as well. And I can also make my terminal strips multi-level too. Now, I'm not going to go in and make loads of changes here because that will just confuse the AutoCAD Electrical project database. But you can see how this works. So what's happening here is I've got my motor 104A from drawing Demo 02. There's the wire and the type. It's going across the terminal strip here. There's the wire and the type again, and there's motor 104 again. So what it's doing is it's basically wiring across the terminal strip with that terminal that I've placed in the wire in drawing Demo 02. It might sound a little confusing, but what you're doing here is purely setting up all the terminals where the actual electrical technician can wire everything in the panel. So it's where the physical wired connections are all joining together on these terminal strips in the actual panel boxes in the electrical installation. We're now going to look at inserting a terminal strip into one of our panel drawings. So you'll notice we're still in the Demo 18 project, and we've got the drawing Demo 09 open, and that's in the panel subfolder. Now, I've inserted an extra bit of DIN rail here vertically. In fact, I've copied this DIN rail here from the TB1 here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to insert a terminal strip, just a blank one, on top of that DIN rail there. So I go to the editor in the Terminal Footprints panel, in the Panel tab on the ribbon. So I click on Editor there, And what will happen is a dialog box will come up on the drawing itself here. So it's prompting me now for the terminal strip selection. So if I go for a particular terminal strip, let's say I go for junction box TSA, and then there's 7 of those. So if I click there and then say I want a new one, it gives me an installation option, a location, and a terminal strip. Now the number of terminal blocks I'm going to say is 8 in this particular case. Now I could specify an installation. In fact, let's do that. So we'll say that that's installation 001. Now I don't have to actually type it in like that. I can just click on browse and it'll look, and there's one there that's already been used in the project. So it's better in some respects to use one that's already in the project rather than, let's say, just typing it in, where you could perhaps get a typing error and get the wrong number. So I click on OK, I click on OK. Now I'm not going to go in and edit all of the terminal strip editor. I can do the catalog code assignments, the cable information, the layout preview. All of this information can be updated here, and there's my little preview there of what it's going to look like when I bring it in to my AutoCAD electrical drawing. Now, there's a default list here for annotation format, wire number only, wire number, wire layer, and so on and so forth. So I can go in and edit all of this information if I want to. I'm not going to, I'm just going to OK it, and then insert the graphical terminal strip. So there it is there. Now, if I bring this in just next to the DIN rail, and then click on Done, you can see there is my new tag strip for my terminals. It may be that I want to increase that in size, or it may be that I just want to drag that and place it on top of the DIN rail. So there's nothing to stop me just selecting all of those and moving them. Now I can, if I want to, go up here, and you can see I can copy the assembly, or I can resequence the item numbers and so on. There's no actual move option. So how do I move it? Well, it's very simple. I select it all, right click, move on the shortcut menu. I'm going to go for a midpoint snap, so let's switch my snaps on, and then what I can do is I can actually select the midpoint. So if I go midpoint snap here, click on OK, midpoint there, and I'll just go for the midpoint on the end there. So you can see that I've added now a new terminal strip to my DIN rail in my AutoCAD electrical drawing. There will often be a requirement to generate terminal tables in separate drawings to your panel drawings in your AutoCAD electrical project. Now we've started in the panel subfolder of the project Demo 18, and we've still got the demo09.dwg open, and this is our panel drawing. I'm going to go to the panel tab on the ribbon, into the terminal footprints panel, and click on Table Generator. Now what this does is it creates a drawing file, as it says there, with tabular terminal strip layouts. So it's generating a table of what you've got set up here in your terminal strips in your panel drawing. So if I click on Table Generator, what will happen is it will bring up a dialog box on the drawing now, and I can specify whichever terminal strip I want to create a table of. Now the nice thing about this is it will insert the table into a brand new drawing in the AutoCAD electrical project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that terminal strip that I created previously, the new one, with the 8 terminal strips on it, junction box 1, tag strip A, and it had that installation location on it. There's lots of different settings that I can set up, such as table style, table title, define the columns, the rows styles, the layers, and so on. If I go into settings here, I can set all of the things like section offset, drawing information for table output, the template I'm going to use. I can show the unused wire connections in the table. If I browse for a template here, you'll notice I can go for a specific template if I want to. I'm going to go for that one there, AutoCAD Electrical.dwt, and click on Open. So I'm going to use that particular template and then click on OK. What I'm going to do is insert that table now into a new drawing. So when I click on OK now, what will happen is it will update the project and it will tell me that the table has been inserted on the new drawing, which is Demo 13. I'll click on OK there. There's Demo 13 there. So if I double click that now and open it up and just zoom extents there for a moment, you can see my table is just here. Now what it's done is it's just dropped that onto the 0, 0. So if I zoom in there, you can see that my table here has gone to 0, 0, that corner there. And obviously my title block, my template has as well. It's just a case of selecting the table, clicking on the appropriate grip and just dragging the table into the actual drawing template. Now I could have actually set that in the settings, but I didn't. So I can just click there now, and there's my table in my new AutoCAD drawing. So if I double click and zoom extents and then save my demo 13 drawing, I've now got my table all set up, ready for information to go into it. You'll remember that the terminal strip that we set up in drawing demo 09 didn't actually have any information on it. It was this one here. So you can see that we haven't actually got any information on those strips there in that terminal strip. Hence the reason why the table is blank in drawing demo 13. But obviously what you can do here is add information from those particular terminal strips into a new drawing, ready so it's tabulated as part of your AutoCAD Electrical project. We're back in drawing demo 02 in the schematic subfolder of the project demo 18. There's our original terminal that we placed in demo 02 at the beginning of this section. We're now going to go to the schematic tab on the ribbon, go to the icon menu and place another terminal and connector here on the 102A wire. Now make sure there's a midpoint snap there. I don't want to snap to there, so just switch your object snaps off to make sure that your terminal goes in the right place on your wire. Now I'm not going to update any of the settings here on the terminal symbol. I'm just going to click on OK. So you can see now that I've got a 102A and a 102B. What I want to do now is edit and insert the jumper between those two terminals. So those jumpers that we saw when we were editing terminal strips back on the panel drawings, we're going to edit that now on the schematic component drawing as well. So we go to the schematic tab on the ribbon, edit components panel here, and it's this icon here, edit jumper. This actually allows you to place a new jumper between terminals. So I'm going to select 102B, and then I'm going to select this terminal here and press enter to finish. And that shows me now, as you can see, the terminal jumpers between those two terminals. I can do a lookup now, and we go into the catalog browser. There's an AB hardware jumper search there. I'm going to go for that center jumper there and click on OK. So it's added that information there, you can see. I OK that now, and that's all updated. Basically what I've done there is create a new jumper between 102B to 102A. Now what happens if I want to edit that jumper? Well, it's exactly the same command. I click here, click on the edit jumper again, and select the terminal. So I'm going to click on this one here, and then I'm going to select the jumper terminal here. Now it will tell me on the command line the selected terminal is already jumper to the other selected terminal, but I've got the option there to edit. So I can right click now and select edit on the shortcut menu, and that will allow me to edit the terminal jumper. There's all the manufacturer and catalog data. If I click here and click here, there's the information again. So I can select this and I can edit it if I want to. You'll notice that we add these jumpers on the schematic component drawing in AutoCAD Electrical. And you can see that all the information is there. That then goes into our terminal strips on our panel drawings and our tabulated terminal strip drawings as well. So I'm going to OK that, and we've now finished editing our jumpers in our AutoCAD Electrical drawings.